Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn daily energy reading. And this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. And if it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate, as those may be meant for someone else. All right, so I thought what I did is I pulled out, I have the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. And I didn't want to use all of the tarot, but he has the chakra cards in here, which I really like that. So for some reason today I was drawn to that. So I wanted to pull a chakra that maybe you need to look at or focus on or work on as an overall energy. And then we're going to get some tarot. We're going to look at what you may possibly be struggling with. We're going to look at what you may need to look at. And for some reason, every time I start doing videos, I get the hiccups. I don't know why. And then possible future energies that may be coming in for you. All right. So we'll get a chakra for today for Capricorn. What chakra do they need to focus on? Does Capricorn need to focus on for today? We have crown chakra. All right, and that is your higher consciousness, and that is your link with the universe. That is that it's at the top of your head, and it is located at the top of your head, and it's about, just letting the universe get its messages through to you, that maybe the universe is trying to give you messages that you are not seeing or you are not receiving, that area may be blocked for you. All right. So let's get some tarot. What you may be struggling with is the Knight of Wands. What you may need to look at is Three of Wands towards the future. Excuse me. And the future energies, we have the Sun card. So that's good. Bottom of the deck, Five of Wands, going back and forth with something. So that could be something within yourself that you're going back and forth with, that you're, sometimes you're like, well, should I do this or should I not do this? Should I have this relationship with this person or should I not have a relationship with this person? Is this person being truthful? Is this person not being truthful? Do I speak up about something or do I not speak up about something? This also could be, again, going back to the crown chakra, is that maybe you are so busy with this Five of Wands of going back and forth that you're not really hearing what the universe is trying to tell you, what it is trying, the messages that it's trying to give you, that you've got so much going on in your head that you're not really hearing the messages that are being presented to you. And it could also be that you're fighting a lot with someone, that you're arguing with someone, that maybe you and someone, you're not seeing eye to eye. Maybe are you being stubborn about something? Are you not seeing their point of view? Is that person being stubborn and they're not seeing your point of view? And so you're both kind of at a standstill about a certain situation. So that could be going on there. The Five of Wands could be, those actions. Maybe you want to take an action to do something and the other person is like, no, I want to stay. Or maybe like you want to stay and they want to go. So there could be that you want to do something and they don't, or they do and you don't. All right, we have the Wild Hunt the Tower. I feel like so what you may possibly be struggling with is this Knight of Wands, which is that forward movement, which makes sense because I feel like you're at a standstill here because you're going back and forth with something. Like it's almost like you're frozen and you can't even make a decision about something. And you're struggling with this Tower moment, which is that rebuilding. And we have the Sun that is coming through, and the Sun can't come through, which is really cool because we have the Sun as a final, as a future energy. So I feel like that is tied into this because the Sun wants to come through, but here you're struggling with that. You're struggling maybe to focus on the positive. You're struggling with being happy. You're struggling with tearing something down, and it could also be like trying to see things from another person's perspective or to rebuild something, maybe end a relationship that's toxic. Whether that's a friendship, it could be a job, it could be a family member, it could be a partnership, whatever that is that you're having trouble starting over. You're having trouble moving forward, like with the Knight of Wands. We have number 14, which is the Siddhi, which is temperance, being patient. You're impatient, right? You're struggling. You're not listening to the messages that are coming in for you, because we have the little Siddhi, which that's what this card represents, is those little fairies there that are trying to help her with her potion. But with this, in the struggling energy, it's like you're struggling with what other people have to say, or maybe other people are trying to help you, or other people are trying to give you a point of view, and you're struggling with that. You're not seeing it. You're not receiving the message again, which that goes through to that crown chakra. You're struggling with the Green Man, which is the Fool card. You're struggling with starting new, which goes into this, what do you need to look at, which we have the Three of Wands, is looking towards the future. So you're struggling with this here. But I also feel like it's, are you struggling with, you need to look towards your future, is, do you want to stay in this energy? Do you want to stay in this stuck energy? Do you want to stay in this Five of Wands energy? Do you want to stay in this, having this tower that's not being broken down, that's not coming, the walls aren't coming down, that the walls are staying up, is, do you want to stay in that energy? We have number 20, which is the Harvest, and that is the Judgment card. So I feel like that's things happening for you, having that full harvest, right? Feeling that abundance. What is your abundance moving towards the future? Like, does this feel abundant to you, or do you feel that, that's not what it is? And if it's abundance in the future and a harvest and that stability and that, letting things come in for you, which again, I feel goes back to the crown chakra. I have no idea why my voice is like this today. Sorry. Looking towards your future as, what is that harvest for you? What is that stability? And moving away from this, looking towards, do I want to stay in this? Okay, we have a Two of Cups, which is that relationship, your relationships with people. It could be the relationship that you have with yourself. It could be the relationship with your partner. What is that looking for? What is that looking like for you? Two of Cups, seeing eye to eye, right? Celebrating this harvest, celebrating the things that want to come in for you. The Horned God, which we have Aries, so it could have to do with an Aries. And it is that, I feel like the Horned God, which is the Emperor, is that direction, like knowing what it is that you want to have, knowing where you want to go, knowing how you want your relationships to be. We don't always have all of the answers. Sometimes it's like, okay, I'm not exactly sure what I want, but I know that this is what I do want and this is what I don't want. I know that this is the direction that I want to head towards. I know this is the direction that I want to move away from. And kind of building upon that, and as you try each thing, and you're like, yes, this is in the yes pile of what I do want, and this is in the no pile as what I don't want. Future energy, we have the Sun card and we have the King of Swords. And I feel like it's learning from those things where if you're stuck in this Five of Wands energy and you're either going back and forth with things between yourself or with another person, you're like, okay, I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that because time goes by so quickly. And I kind of want to get past that blockage sooner. And I want to get myself back on track, and I want to focus on the positive. I want to focus on my yes pile, right? And I want to move away from my no pile, because the King of Swords here is, he's going through his letters and he has all of his, it's going through the past, all of these scrolls. He's looking at the letters, he's researching, he's figuring things out, he's looking at things. And we have Four of Wands here, and I like this Four of Wands because it's a couple that is working together with their apples and their pears, and they're making their cider, and they're working together as a partnership, and they're happy about it, right? They're looking at each other and they're smiling. They're making something, they're making this cider or this vinegar, or whatever it is that they're making from this, that they're working together as in a partnership. And I feel like maybe this is what you're struggling with. This could also have to do with a job. I feel like this Four of Wands here is that, are you at a job that you're not happy, or is there something that you want to start? But I feel like it's you're feeling stuck in that energy, but it's like, how do we work on this partnership? And then I have the yes page and the no page, and then I walk away from the no page so that I can have this beautiful energy that's coming in for you. And I also feel like it has to do with listening to that crown chakra and letting that flow and being aware of the signs and the feelings that you have around you. Sometimes we question what it is that we're feeling and we find reasons to not listen to that. But then in the end, we're like, oh, I wish I had listened to that because that was a feeling that I had before. We have the Page of Swords. So I feel like the Pages is young energy, and it's kind of figuring out, like, dealing with those harder things to deal with sooner, which is what I was saying over here, is what I was feeling, is that learning that, okay, if there's something that's bothering me, or I'm at an impasse, or if there's an argument or there's a disagreement, I don't want to spend a lot of time in that energy. I want to move away from that as quickly as possible. We have the King of Cups, and I love this one too because he has a huge smile. And we have the bees, which I feel represent prosperity and abundance. He has a full table here, and he's happy, right? He's content. He's reaping the rewards of not being stuck in this Five of Wands energy and realizing, okay, this is what I have to move on from. This is what I have to make sure that if I'm at an impasse, I figure out how to get past it. And is the universe giving me signs that I need to listen to? We have the Ace of Swords, which represents getting over a situation, right? A realization. You're finally making a decision, right? That you're having, it could be an epiphany that you're like, yeah, you know what? I do realize that I'm putting up walls, that I'm not embracing this tower moment, that I'm not letting the sun come through, that I'm not listening to people around me. You know, if you have one person that says something, that's kind of one thing. But then if you have a bunch of people, because there's a bunch of Siddhi around here, that maybe that's something to be more aware of, that if there are a lot of people saying something, that it's like, well, you know what, maybe I should listen to what it is that they're saying. Oh, look at that. We have the Fool again. So we have the Fool here. So this line I kind of feel like this is the main points that you're struggling with, and then this is kind of a little more detailed about what you know you're struggling with. And then over here I feel like is the energy that's coming in for you, that is kind of more of that clarity and what could happen for you, that if you embrace this energy or you work on this energy or you do these things, it's being able to, you know, we have the Fool card again. So up here I feel you're struggling with the Fool card. You're struggling with starting new. You're starting fresh. Like I was saying, is there someone around you that wants to make a move, because wands represent movement, and you don't, and you're feeling stuck. And so again, you're struggling with the Fool as making a move. But down here I feel like you're moving past that, and you kind of realize, yeah, like maybe making a move, an action, whatever that may be, does make me feel better. It's almost like sometimes before we actually do something, sometimes we overthink it so much that the hardest part is taking the first step, right? The hardest part is not overthinking the first step and not holding yourself back from taking that first step. And once you make that first step, you're like, wow, I feel so much better, right? It wasn't as bad as what I was thinking. I had built it up so much in my mind that I froze myself and I wasn't even able to do it. And again, I love this because looking at, yeah, that's a huge relief, right? Tens are completions. You're exhausted, you're tired, you've been through a lot, but I almost feel like, did you put yourself through that? You know, were you putting yourself through that? Something that didn't really need to be as big or as draining as it was that something that you were putting yourself through? And if you were putting yourself through that, why were you putting yourself through that? You know, is that kind of learning from the past? Is that how you always handled things? But now you're like, you know what, I want to handle things differently, that I don't want to put myself through all of this that I've been through, right? That I want to make my life easier, that I have to look at those things that I'm doing to myself to make my life easier, right? Because I don't want to go through that anymore. Moving forward, kind of moving away from this volcano, right? Moving away from the volcano. And wands are, again, our actions is taking those actions to move away from those things. And again, was it you were so used to all of this chaos and the struggle that you were going through there that seemed normal to you, and that this new normal is I'm going to move through these things quicker, that I'm going to get past these things quicker, and I have to be more cognizant of what it is that I'm thinking, and am I putting myself through unnecessary things. Moving forward, I feel there's a calmness. Once I saw this Four of Swords, I felt like this calmness, and then we had the Ten of Swords. It was like, that aha moment, relaxing, feeling better, moving forward. Things aren't as chaotic over here. We're not moving away from that Five of Wands energy. This future energy here, we have the Ten of Cups. Again, working together. We have these two people that are working together. They have the yarn. This person's doing the yarn. This person's handing it to this person. This is doing the needle point and knitting. We have all of these butterflies and bees here together to represent, I feel, abundance and that transformation that you're going through and working together. And again, with the Four of Wands, working together. The Death card, I was just looking at this Page of Swords, and I was feeling like it's being able to handle those more difficult situations that you have to deal with, and getting through that Five of Wands quicker so that you're not spending a lot of time being in that negative energy. We have Two of Wands, moving towards a happier path, moving towards a better path. Again, we have the sun, which is shining through, which goes back up here to this Sun card. So I feel like the sun is kind of illuminating that path for you to follow. And I feel like because you're more in tune with that crown chakra, you're seeing that the path is being illuminated for you. You're kind of seeing clear, and you're like, oh, okay, this path is illuminated. So these signs are here for me, that I'm going to listen to that, and I'm going to follow that and see where that brings me. And I feel like the signs are there for you, or the clarity comes in for you. We have the Knight of Cups, and then I feel like that's you just feeling emotionally better, and you're ready to charge forward, and you're like, yep, I'm ready to do the things that I want to do. I'm ready to reach out and accomplish my goals and do my things. If it has to do with a relationship or a partnership, working together, right? Could be with a business or a job, whatever that is, that you feel calmer. Sometimes there's part of us that wants to start something new, and we want to try something, but then there's the part of us that has that insecurities that we hold ourselves back, right? That we maybe sabotage ourselves from things, or we talk ourselves out of doing things, but yet there's still that other part of us is like, I really wish I tried that. I really wish I could do that. But now I feel like with this process that you've gone through, you're like, yeah, now I'm ready to do it, right? Now I'm ready to I'm ready to try those things. I'm ready to do those things, that I'm not going to hold myself back. And sometimes when we get frustrated with ourselves, we project that energy onto someone else, and it's almost like, because we want to have that someone else to blame for something. Because we're like, well, I don't want to blame myself. I don't want to say that I'm the one that's holding myself back from something. So we want to put that on someone else, so then we'll find ways to have arguments with those other people so that we don't have to take responsibility for what we're doing to ourselves. But I feel like the biggest thing is to look at our own actions and our own energies and our own thoughts. We have time for a deep dive, and that's what I was just saying. Looking at our own energies, our own things that we are projecting, and to be responsible for our own actions and our own decisions and our own thoughts. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe. I will see you next time.